Some of the most beautiful JDM rods from Nories arrive. Deps, for the first time in forever, brings us the giant Kinku, and things are getting scandalous over at Teckel. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle.
Oh, what a stud.
Yeah. Look at that.
That was sick.
Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. All right, guys, some breaking news. What's new this week at the Hookup Tackle?
What a beautiful post long fish.
Look at that.
Look at that gut on that. That's a nice fish.
Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being joined this fine Sunday morning by my
What's up, buddy?
Jeffrey the King. What's up, Jeffrey
How's
the
it
King?
going, dude?
Oh, you know what? I have something for you.
Oh, you do?
Pause.
Oh, pause.
Sweet child of mine.
Oh, right.
I know you never drink anything, so today I got you an iced tea. Okay?
Liquid-
But you can feel like a man, because it looks like a beer.
Yeah.
But it's a peach iced tea. Would you like that? Actually, it's Hua's. I just stole it. Sorry, Hua.
Murder your thirst.
We are the Hookup Tackle USA. This is what's new this
Rest
week at the
in
Hookup
peach.
Tackle. We make fun of Jeff not being a man enough to drink beer. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are doing good. What do you think? You gonna crack it?
That looks awful. This looks like a Hua drink.
Give it back to me. What is it gonna take? Is it literally just Mizu for you?
Mizu. Cold Mizu.
Literally the most boring man on the planet.
That's me.
You know the most interesting man in the world?
Is that you?
No, but the opposite is behind the camera.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Cheers, guys. Happy Sunday. You doing good, Jeff?
Not anymore.
Well, we got some really cool new products dropping this week. Some really exciting restocks that literally Jeff and I have been waiting on for like 2 years on some of these items. So let's jump right into it. Let's start at Teckel. So a huge restock week from Teckel. I've actually had this stuff sitting in Japan for months, but I finally was able to get it over to us. So I'm gonna fly through some stuff, and we're gonna talk about a brand new limited release color that we are doing as a one-time offering. So let's start with some restocks really quick, and we'll get to the Kicknocker color. So it's frog season for most of you guys. All the key frogs are back, so if you guys have been waiting on sprinkers, a lot of the key colors like bluegill, pearl white snakehead. This is the buzz frog that you can basically fish like a swim bait or a buzz bait. It's got the big paddle tail on it. It's an amazing frog. All those return. My favorite Teckel frog, Griff's favorite Teckel frog, I think probably most people's favorite Teckel frog, the Honker, also back in stock in all the key colors. So bone, snakehead, watermelon, blacks, all that. Back in stock on those. If you guys are waiting on the Sharker, we should see those over the next week or two. I saw that they finally arrived in custom, so once they clear through, we should see those, and we will get those in your guys' hands. All right, Kicknockers back in stock in a big way, and a lot of key colors, both in the pups and the full size. So we've been out a lot of these colors: bluegill, clear ice, vanilla ice, lime ice. They've been hard to find, so all those return this week from Teckel. And that brings me to a new color, Jeff. Now, when we were over in Japan earlier this year, Hideki was talking about wanting to take one of his favorite Megabass colors, which is that glitter see-through IU, right? And take it and tweak it and turn it into a topwater color, because it's a color that he catches so many fish on. And he did. We dropped this in the special anniversary box last week. Now they are available if you guys would like to scoop some up. The special color stripper pole is available for a one-time only. Jeff, why do you look so disappointed in me every time I talk about a color? What is wrong with you?
Who came up with that name? Did you influence Hideki?
So in most ways that we
boy.
come up with names around here, it always starts something clean, right, and family friendly, and then it turns a little crazy. And Carmen always is the final say. So you can thank Carmen for this one.
How does it represent a stripper pole?
It's right there. See? the chrome pole,
Yeah, that's
and then
it.
all the glitter,
You're telling me.
right? And then the clear pockets because all my money is gone.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's that. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
You
yeah.
got it now, right?
I've
Yeah. So here you go. This is a really amazing color that's going to be great for clear to, I'd say, like slightly stained water. It's a full transparent color. It has that silver glitter effect on the sides. It's going to have just a hit of purple on the tail. It's going to have a chrome face, so he wanted it to be a good option for you guys that fish something like clear ice or lime ice, one of those clear colors, to get something that has a little bit more body. But he also wanted it to be a good option for you guys that are throwing chrome at all the herring lakes, so you still get that touch of chrome, but then you still get that clearer body as well to when they need something just a touch more natural. It has that dark green back on it that you will see as it flashes. It's going to go from kind of clear to kind of dark, so it's going to kind of break up the profile as well. It's going to be a super killer color for you. So this is a one-time offering, okay? So it is available in a Kicknocker and a Kicknocker pup, okay? So both sizes are available. So if that looks interesting to you and you want something a little scandalous with the name, there you go. Stripper pole from Teckel, available now. Jeff, I'm glad I could put a smile on your face. That's it. You're just going to keep smiling? Is this the closest you've got to a stripper pole?
Yeah, this is it.
Here you go, touch one.
Ooh, it feels weird.
Okay, staying on Teckel. We also got a big restock in the Drunker crankbait. Now, this is a crankbait that we haven't had in quite some time. This is a crankbait that flies super under the radar for most of the country. Some of you guys that live around the Ozarks know about this thing. Basically designed to be a wiggle wart-ish type bait. It's designed with a kind of a true hunting type action. Has great cover deflection. It's built very flat, right? So it's going to have a very kind of flat movement, and then as it hits a rock and deflects, it's going to really kind of hunt back. It's just a great all-around option anytime you just need to burn bank. So if you guys, I don't know, looking for something different than a wiggle wart, or maybe just looking to restock, the Drunkers are back in stock now from Teckel. All right, Jeff, I don't know if there's going to be any of these left in stock by the time anybody sees this video, but let's talk about them because it's going to probably be the closest thing to having them in stock that we're going to have maybe ever. So, of all the terrible, terrible items to come out at ICAST 2022, the one thing that kind of everybody took away that we are excited about was this thing.
Yeah.
And it's probably been, I mean, the hype around this bait has been crazy this year. Okay, these are in stock. And by the way, once again, if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We dropped these Friday night. We had a pallet full of them, and they have just been evaporating out of here. Okay, so make sure you do that if you want to stay on top of things. So here you go. The Spro collab with KGB swim baits, the Chad Shad 180, is in stock and available right now. Now, Jeff, you don't usually get super excited. Excited is probably the wrong word. You don't really ask me to stash a lot of things for you, right? Like a lot of times you come in here and we film, we shoot the shit, and you see something interesting, you get it, you try it. This is one of the few baits, maybe ever, that you've hounded me like, hey, did those come in yet? Make sure you stash in one, hey, right? Why the excitement? I mean, you're connected to this world. What is the excitement about this bait coming out?
Well, the KGB is a pretty popular bait that I've just never been able to like try myself because they're pretty hard to get for the most part. I miss out on drops. So then when we saw them last year at ICAST, I was like, this is interesting. I want to actually give it a shot and see how it does. And so when we first got the shipment of them and they flew out, I was like, oh, well, all right, see you later.
Right.
And so when I was like, all right, let me actually try one of these things out because I'd like to see how well it does. And so far from the guys that have gotten them and fished them, it catches a lot of fish.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to try them out myself and see just how well it does and see if it's like a staple in my arsenal or if it's something where it's like, yeah, it was cool for, you know, $60, like, but it's not really my juice. But
yeah. So for those of you that don't really live in the swimbait world, KGB swimbaits, like the OG KGB Chad, right? That is kind of regarded as one of the best shad glides on the market, right? A resin bait, if I'm not mistaken, right? Hard to get, like Jeff said, expensive, right? But just amazing movements. And when we saw that Spro was collabing with them, my first thought was, is it a collab or are they just taking it? But then he was there in the booth and we spent a long time talking with him, and he was super hands-on on this. Like, this is really his project that Spro just did. So they're able to mass produce it with ABS, they're able to weight it, they're able to, you know, do it to his specs, his color scheme. So, you know, it's cool to see the creator actually involved with a collab with a company that usually just takes stuff and does it on their own anyways, right? So here you go. Here's a look at it. It's 7 inches. It's just over 2 ounces. I think it's 2.3 ounces. So it's a pretty easy size to throw. It is labeled as a slow sink, okay? It does have swiveled hook hangers on it. It has that kind of brush tail on it. And there are 5 colors. Now, the first 2 colors that came out were Ghost Trout and Ghost Perch. Those evaporated out of here, right? So everybody was kind of waiting on the shad colors. So there's 3 shad colors, right? I'm holding in my hands threadfin shad. Now, it's pretty trouty.
Very trouty.
So if you guys were bummed, like, oh man, I wanted the ghost trout or whatever, here you go.
There you go.
I mean, it could be a trout or it could be a shad. I'm not sure it's one of my favorite shad patterns, but it's a cool, natural, all-around use pattern. So I think there's a lot you guys can do with that one. So that is threadfin shad. The next one is gizzard shad. Now, I like this color. Looks completely different than the color that they advertised gizzard shad would be.
Classic.
It's definitely got more blue on the hue, and then it fades up to more purple. The color that they advertised is more of like a grayish black. But regardless of that, it's a nice kind of natural color. I think both of them are really natural.
Yeah.
They're both transparent. So they're gonna both, you know, have the same effect probably. And then there is just a solid bone.
I think that's the most popular color.
Yeah, just because it's simple. It's bone.
Everybody loves
bone. Works, right? So you've got 3 options. If they're in stock, scoop them up. If they're not, and you guys were responsible, I mean, I can't tell you, thousands of orders over the last 2 days. So guys, thank you for the business. Thank you for the support on getting those. But you might check it out. You might be lucky enough to scoop one up. That's the Chad Shad. And by the way, $59.99 instead of,
super
you know,
affordable.
100 plus for, you know, an OG. So it's a good price for a cool glide. Those are available now. All right, Jeff, while we are on swim baits, let's transition over to Deps. So we get 3 Butch Brown specific colors this week from Deps in the brand new Slide Swimmer 175. Now, I say brand new because it's the new body style. It has the different fins. It's really, the 175 for years and years got a lot of bad press because it didn't really glide the same as the 250, right? So they redesigned it to where now it's actually, it's a good bait.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is another one that you guys might want to consider in that 2 ounce range. This can have a really good glide, a very slow sink, and some super dope Butch Brown colors. So Butch Brown Gizzard is back, Butch Brown Bass is back, and Butch Brown Natural Trout is back. So 3 Butch Brown. These are usually like once every couple years they will run these colors. So this is a great chance to scoop them up if any of those speak to you from Deps in the Slide Swimmer 175. Now, probably the item that I'm most excited about for this week. This is literally something that you and I have talked about for 2 years, and we've asked Deps for 2 years to please remake this. They probably have just been ignoring us for 2 years,
1,000%.
and they just made it on their own.
Yeah.
But I feel like I finally broke through and somebody listened.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm excited. A lot of you guys may not even know about this because it's been so long since it's been on the market and the hype. But here you go, guys. The return of the Kincoo Air 13-inch. I can't tell you how excited I am.
What a beautiful worm.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest worms on the market. Now, these have always been the main 2 colors, the clear red, believe it or not, and the green pumpkin. But there are a bunch of colors, so get whatever you like. If you like Pro Blues, there's a super dope kind of dead shad color. There's a Scuppernong color. I mean, dude, that one actually looks pretty dope. The Sakura Baby Blue.
Yep.
So there's some really nice colors in here. Now, let's talk about the Kinku. I'm gonna open up the red because that's my fave, right? Now, this is a worm that neither Jeff nor myself really knew anything about until our friend Kenta came to the shop and hung out for a few days and just taught us everything he could teach us. Yeah. And this was a bait that he was shocked we didn't know about, right? And he basically taught us all the ins and outs of it. And at the time, we had a bunch. Yeah. And so everybody here took them out and did what he told us to do. and we literally plowed through all the bags.
They were gone.
Just absolutely destroyed them. So here you go. The 13-inch Kinku. It is a giant worm.
It's a big worm.
A ton of stuff you can do with this guy. So if you are out in a big lake and you want to Carolina rig it, you can. You want to Texas rig it, you can. It is the Air. So the Air is going to have these little holes here on the bottom, okay? And those holes are going to trap air that are going to allow the worm to have some buoyancy. It's not going to stand up like a super floater, right? But it's going to have some buoyancy. Instead of just being right on the ground, it's going to have a little bit of movement to it. So just a little bit of water current is going to allow this thing to have a little bit of shimmy. The way this thing is really super effective though is either fished weightless or like Neko rigged. They will put a little sleeve right here in the middle. There's one little collar right there. Okay, so you're going to put your sleeve right there on the collar, and then you're going to use maybe like a 1 or a 1/0, depending on the hook, kind of Neko rig hook. And this is a worm that's just so big that they have to come see it.
Yes.
It's kind of like the same idea of throwing, well, like a slide swimmer 250 instead of a slide swimmer 115, right? You fish a small body of water, a little pond, your tendency tends to be to go smaller, right? More natural, throw something that is what they're feeding. But all of a sudden you throw this giant thing and it has so much draw power that everything kind of attracts to it. Same idea here with this worm. So, you know, where Kenta made this worm famous in Japan is if you follow any of his Kimken stuff on YouTube, when he shore fishes, he pretty much lives on this thing, right? And so even in a really skinny, small body of water, he's throwing this to fish that would normally be super spooky and won't touch anything normal. They will come over and investigate this just because it's so big and it moves so well. So I'm super stoked to get these back. I know a lot of you have been waiting on them. So I would definitely gobble these up. I'm not exaggerating when I say 2 years.
Yeah,
it's
been a
been
long time.
2 years.
Since Kenta was in too.
Yeah. So I would imagine it's probably going to be 2 more years, right? I mean, I'm not the smartest guy,
Right.
but if I was going to deduct a few things in my head, I would say to grab these. So if this is something you've been waiting on or something you want to try it, but try it quickly, because when you see that it works, you're going to want to grab whatever you can grab before they're gone, okay? So there you go. The 13-inch Kinku, finally. Enjoy.
I bought them
Tag
all.
me. You bought them all already?
See ya.
Is that why your truck's backed up to the loading dock?
Yeah.
Pallet of Kinkus for Jeff. Swim baits are done.
Oh, it's a wrap. I will
You're-
trade all my Spro.
You're crazy
KGBs.
worm fisher now?
Yeah, if they're 13 inches and weigh 4 ounces.
I love it. By the way, it's not 4 ounces, but
How
it's
much-
pretty heavy.
What is that? An
It's
ounce maybe?
It's gotta be, I would say,
It's got to be like an ounce.
an ounce and a
quarter.
half.
Yeah.
Here, that,
Oh yeah, 100%.
it's gotta be an ounce and a half
Ounce and
to
a half
2
for
ounce.
sure.
Somewhere
For
in that
sure.
range. So, you know,
Windbuster.
okay, sure. Everybody's got broken wind busters, but Jeff said, so keep that in mind too when you go to throw it. I know it's just a worm, but it's 13 inches of worm. Am I right? So there you go, guys. Available while supplies last until Jeff buys them. The 13-inch Kinku is back. Hallelujah.
Thank
on that.
God.
All right, while we're on Deps worms, some restock and some new colors that come through in the Rebound stick. So if 13 inches is just too much for you, it's too intimidating, right? And you need to drop down to something more normal like 6 inches or 5 inches or 7 inches, the Rebound stick is a great option. So the Rebound stick is kind of designed in a similar way to kind of like a Senko, but really designed to kind of be wacky rigged. It's got a thinner area in the belly section, 2 bigger bulbous areas on the back ends. Really has a great shimmy on the way down. Catches a ton of fish, and we see some new color additions. So a lot of these green pumpkin colors, the green pumpkin chartreuse, green pumpkin orange are in, and then we see some like electric shad and pro blue and morning dawn colors as well. So if the Rebound sticks speak to you, those are available now from Deps as well. We also see a huge, massive restock across all sizes and colors of the Deps Bull Flats. So this is our #1 selling soft plastic bait in Deps. Even beats out the cover Scat, which I'll talk about here in a minute, okay? So this is a great bluegill profile bait, probably the most famous bluegill profile bait in Japan. I would say maybe the most famous, well, there's that knockoff bluegill bait. But other than that, probably the most effective bluegill profile bait here in the US as well. So they make a bunch of sizes, a 3-inch and a 3/8, which are perfect for free rig. They also make a 4/8 and a 5/8 that are great to fish on their own. You can also fish them on a free rig, Texas rig, you can drag them on a Carolina rig, but they fish amazingly well, either weightless or on like a swim bait style hook, and just kind of fish them around and pop them and let them kind of fall back down. So if you've been waiting on any key colors like green pumpkin, bluegill, scuppernong, so on and so forth, those are available now. All right, we finally get a big batch of one of the coolest poppers on the market, the Deps Pulse Cod. Okay, so this is one that we don't talk about a lot because we don't really talk about poppers that much, it seems, like in here, right? Because they take some patience to use, but all the key colors are back. Real bluegill is back, black orange dot, there's a gold black, the bone shad. The Pulse Cod is a really dope one because unlike traditional poppers that basically just pop and boom, create a sound, or walk, which this does both very, very well, the Pulse Cod also has an internal spring-loaded weight in it. Okay, so the same weighting system that's in the slide swimmer is also in the Pulse Cod. So when you pop this, like if I wiggle this, you'll hear it. Right, so that is a weight that's on a spring in the head. So what happens is when you pull it and you pop it, it shifts. And then when it shifts, I can feel it vibrating in my hand. So it continues to kind of vibrate in my hand, and all those little vibrations are pulsing out in the water. So the idea behind that is that they're giving the bait kind of a heartbeat. That's the idea, right? So you feel that pulse, it's putting it out in the water, and those fish can detect that pulse on their lateral line. Seems real, they eat it. So it's a super dope popper to add to the lineup. If you guys are in the middle of topwater season, I think you'll really enjoy that. So that's the Pulse Cod from Deps. Those return in a big way this week from Deps. All right, and then to wrap up Deps, we get a huge restock this week in cover scats. I know a lot of you guys have been looking for some of the newer colors. So Falcon Lake Crawl, Reservoir Shad, and then all the key ones, green pumpkins, all that kind of stuff are back in the cover scats this week from Deps as well. We also see a huge return in both the regular and the heavyweight version of the Sakamata shad. So this is going to quickly take over the bull flat as the #1 selling Deps bait. Well, it should be Kinku right now. All right, everybody should throw that 13-inch Kinku. But a lot of you guys live in places where you throw soft plastic fluke style baits. Sakamata shad is an amazing alternative to that. We talk about it a lot, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on here on it. But all the key colors in the key sizes, the 5-inch, the 6-inch, the 7-inch, right? So your whites, your pearl flakes, your purple shads, your biwako shads, electric shads, all that stuff, all back in stock this week from Deps in the Sakamatas. All right, guys, jumping over to a company that we don't talk about a lot, Bottom Up. So we have a huge restock plus some new colors to talk to you guys about in the Bottom Up lineup. Now, one of our best-selling baits, the Bottom Up Frish. This is a killer little finesse paddle tail. Really amazing at like the BWA rig, mid-strolling type stuff. You can drop shot this. You can just cast and wind it however you want. We get 3 new color additions in this. So there's a nice clear chartreuse. There's a new color called Peach, and then there's one called Real. This is designed just to look, well, like a real shad. So 3 new colors in the Frish. Those are available this week from Bottom Up. We also see 3 new colors in the Bulls Hog Baby. So the Bulls Hog kind of designed in a similar style, similar fashion to like an OSP Dolive Beaver. It has a very similar look, but it's cut and built to move in a completely different way. So where the Beaver has kind of a dolphin kick to it, the Bulls Hog is going to have more of a side-to-side swoosh to it. So it's a different movement that sometimes can get a totally different bite. So it's a good one to kind of add into the mix. So the baby size is a great one if you're looking for something ultra finesse. It could be a jig trailer. You can, free rig it. Tons of different things you can do with it. So 3 new colors. There's a scuppernong blue. There's a little baby bass. There's a gill bug. So 3 new colors in that. And we also get a big restock across the board in regular Bulls Hog and Bulls Hog Daddy and all the key colors, green pumpkins, bluegills, that kind of stuff. So all those return from Bottom Up. We also get a huge restock across the board in the Scooper Frog. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for the Scooper Frog to return in a lot of key colors. So all the colors are back, from whites to pinks to green pumpkins to watermelons. They're all back. Now the Scooper Frog is an Elastec frog. This is a really tiny little finesse bait. I say Elastec, it's not really truly Elastec. It's kind of Bottom Up's proprietary elastomer is what I should have said. So it's a high float, very durable, cute little frog that was originally designed to be a topwater bait, but most guys now are using this as like a drop shot bait. They're putting on a small little light Jika rig, some kind of way on the bottom because it's creating a different swim in motion that they're not used to seeing down there, but of course designed to go on the surface. So this is going to fit a size 2 or 3 hook on this guy. We also see a return in the Magnum as well across all colors. So this is going to take a 4/0 or 5/0 hook, and again, you can put this on like a pivot head, right? It's how a lot of guys are using it. You can fish it on the bottom, or of course use it on the surface. So 2 different options there, available now this week from Bottom Up. We also see a huge restock in the Beeble line of spinnerbaits. So both double willow and tandem willow here on the Beeble. Now the Beeble has this kind of front blade element that designs to give it just a really tight little shimmy, not quite a true jackhammer kind of side to side movement, but a really nice tight movement. Now, what we have discovered, and through talking with a lot of guys over the last several months since we've had Beebles, is this front element also is great at deflecting off hard cover. So if you guys are fishing around wood or laydowns or rocks or pilings, anything like that, this little front element is a great way to just get it to bang into it and bounce and deflect without the spinnerbait bending. So keep that in mind as well. All those return. Reazzy's and Reazzy Appeal Plus, their square bill, also back across all colors. So it's just a great high-speed square bill, so those return as well. And then a brand new offering from them with a funny little name, the Bottom Up Flummy, is now in stock. So 10 different colors of this. Now, this is a 5-gram little finesse blade bait. There's some shad colors, there's some reds, there's some craws, so there's lots of options in here. I'm gonna take one of these out, I'm gonna show it to you. It's a pretty small bait, but what the Flummy does differently than a traditional blade bait is, Jeff, you know this, in Japan they are really hype on the idea of a shimmy fall. Like shimmy fall is a big thing there, right? And basically what that means is most baits, have this really good look as you're winding them in or you're tracking them in, but then when you kill it or you pause it, they kind of just dive. A shimmy fall, as it winds in, you kill it, would allow it to continue to fall and basically shimmy on the way down, so it maintains its natural appeal as it falls, and it's not just like an up and down. Bottom Up wanted to create a blade bait that had a shimmy fall, so you'll notice that on the bottom is actually like ABS on the bottom, on the head and the midsection of the bait. Okay, so what that does is it widens it out. Okay, they've kind of spread the weight and balanced the weight out, and then that flat bottom allows it to have that same vibration. It has that same lift as it falls or as it pulls up, but then as it falls, instead of just kind of diving or doing whatever it's going to do, it pulls up and then it shimmy falls back down, right? So, and all this is happening pretty fast because it is a blade bait, so it's designed to kind of go up and go down, but it's giving it just a little bit different look. So if you guys have been looking for a nice finesse option, this could be the one you've been looking for. The Flummy from Bottom Up, those are available now. All right, Jeff, let's jump over to Lucky Craft for a minute. So a lot of stuff from Lucky Craft this week, quite a few new things, little niched out new things, okay? So I'm gonna try to fly through this. Now, Lucky Craft is one of the most popular JDM brands in South America. Do you know that?
I had no idea.
So guys that fish the Amazon, fish peacocks, they love Lucky Craft baits because they're made in Japan, so they know that they're gonna move right. They're built really strong. So Lucky Craft actually did a special run of some select colors for that region, and some of these colors were too dope to pass up, right? So I grabbed them. So here we go. These are gonna be in Pointer 78 and a new Gunfish 95 no feather. Remember we did the Gunfish 115 no feather? So it's a Gunfish 95 no feather. So it's the same bait, it's a Gunfish 95, but it just doesn't have that feathered treble on the back. So it's gonna allow it to have a little faster movement, and it's one less thing to kind of get in the way, if you will. Okay, so here's some new colors. This is KL Pro Blue.
That one's sick.
It's dope.
That one's
right. Yeah, this one's, I'm
sick.
buying this one. Let me just take it out of the package.
Hold on. Oh
yeah, that one's dirty. So KL Pro Blue is basically, I mean, it's got kind of a Pro Blue top, but it's basically just kind of like this beautiful transparent albino
Wait, hold
body.
on now. Did they make that in like a 115?
This needs to be in everything.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah. So KL Pro Blue, and by the way, that's in the Gunfish and the Pointer 78.
Oh,
so right now,
okay,
just these two options.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a killer jerkbait color. So we'll work with them on expanding this for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's color number 1. Color number 2, original bone. There's nothing. I mean, it's bone.
Yeah.
Okay, but bone works so good everywhere
Yeah.
that this is a no-brainer. So again, the Gunfish 95 no feather and the Pointer 78, both going to be offered in those. I'm thinking this is a one-time. It may not be just a one-time offering forever, but it's definitely going to be a very limited run. Okay, so original bone, those are available. This guy, blue pink sardine RT. Like this is a different. This is probably like a saltwater guy or
crazy.
somebody that just wants to
Yeah.
have a good time, right? Maybe they're tripping on something. This could be a good option. Okay,
Whoa.
so that is a color. That's just in the Gunfish, by the way. Okay. Then another one that is Gunfish and Pointer. This one's pretty sick. I think this one's dope. This is Ghost Neon Tetra.
Jesus.
You know those little fish
Yeah, the
that we
little
used to
Tetra
have
fish.
in the aquarium? So Ghost Neon Tetra. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of a transparent, got just a touch of red in the back. Pretty dope color. So that's going to be available in both. We got another crazy one. Chartreuse Pink Head.
It's definitely a peacock color.
Pretty self-explanatory there. So for some of you guys, that's going to be a no-brainer. Maybe
Yeah.
some guys down in Miami.
Oh yeah.
Right, they will destroy him on that one. This color always does well, Old Pink Shore. So they did this in an anniversary Sammy not too long ago. That is available. This one is super dope. That is Arari. So it's a transparent, here, let me take it out because I'm gonna buy this one too. It's like a full transparent, almost like a ghost minnow,
Mm-hmm.
but with like this transparent blood red tail and just hit on the bill. Like that's a pretty sick color
That
right
one's
there.
sick.
Yeah. So Arari. Oh, and the red eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That one's
dirty.
dirty.
Okay, so that one is available. We also have Fire Tiger.
Classic.
Okay, so this is JP Matte Tiger is what they call it. So that's available in both. There's also a Numa Crown, which is one of my favorite clown colors. It's super toned down, it's transparent, it has scale back, got maybe like a faint orange instead of red. So that is available in both of those. A Bone Arari.
Oh.
Okay, so
like
we've
that
taken
one.
that same Arari and just made it a bone base instead of clear. And then Redhead. Okay, so those are available while supplies last. Gunfish 95, no feather, Pointer 78, knock yourself out. All right, staying in some new color options, the LC 1.5, probably our best-selling square bill in the shop. It's a great, inexpensive, made in Japan, you know, $6.99 square bill. We see some new colors this week. So, Jeff, you love walleye. Here's a northern walleye for you.
New world record size walleye.
So, northern walleye, that's one of the
It's crazy
colors.
because that doesn't look like a walleye.
It looks nothing like a walleye, but hey,
Hey.
maybe in the north, maybe further north than
Oh,
where
yeah,
we've been.
yeah.
Green perch. Yeah, doesn't look like green perch either, but it's a pretty sick color. So that's a new one. Okay, light hitch.
I like that
Looks
one.
like light hitch.
Yeah.
That's available. Aurora citrus and Texas yellow bass. Okay, so some new colors in the 1.5 are available. Maybe 5-6 weeks ago, we relaunched a handful of colors in the SKTs. Remember? We see some color expansions in the SKT MRs, both in the mini and in the full-size MR. So I'm gonna fly through these really quick for you guys. Make sure not to drop these. What do I have? I took too many of everything.
Oh, I see.
That's all right. All right, here we go. Delta Craw is available in the SKT Mini MR and the SKT MR. This is one of my favorite crankbaits of all time. It's a finesse crankbait for sure. The Mini MR is 2 inches. It weighs 7.8 grams, so just over a 1/4 ounce. The regular SKT MR is 60 millimeters, so about 2 3/8 inch, 11 grams, so 3/8 of an ounce. Amazing cover deflection, flat side. They eat it really good, so new color there. We also see the same in Ghost Minnow. We see Chartreuse Shad return.
These
and
are
then
new colors?
Well, none of these are new, but they're new back to
Okay.
what's happening. And then Chartreuse Root Beer, which was a fan favorite for years and years, that returns as well. So if you guys love the SKT like I do, you'll be excited to see some of these. Those are available now from Lucky Craft. All right, guys, staying on some restocks, the LC 0.3 and 0.5 are back in a big way. You guys know this is one of my favorite pond crankbaits. Chrome, Ghost Minnow, Chartreuse Shad, Teal Crawl, all returned. So if you guys have been waiting on any of those new ones like the Chrome, those are back. And then Lucky Craft expands the LC 2.5 DD into a DD DRS, okay? Look, the LC line is, it's all over the place.
Expensive.
It's, who knows what, it's impossible to know, right? So this is a 2.5 body size in a DD bill, which is going to be slightly deeper. So we're talking, you know, 4 to 8 foot, right? So grinding rocks in a DRS, which is a 1-knock deep rattle sound, okay? It'll be a great one for you guys fishing muddier water, dingier water, where you need just a little bit bigger body, makes a little bit of noise. We got a handful of colors. Teal Chartreuse Blue, Teal Craw, Ghost Minnow for that super dirty water.
Super.
And Aurora Citrus.
There you go.
Okay, so simple 4-color offerings, but I think if you guys put this in play at the right time, this is gonna catch some fish for you. So there you go, 2.5 DD DRS from Lucky. All right, quick note before we jump over to rods. I got some really dope JDM rods to talk about. I know a lot of you guys are Exist fans, so I just let you know as we see them trickle in, because they always just come in light batches. So if you've been waiting on the Daiwa Exist LT 2500XH or the 2000D. So the 2000 is going to be a great like trout or super finesse one. Basically a 1000 size frame with a 2000 size spool. Super dope. Those are back. 2500, great all around bass use. Those are back as well. All right, Jeff, a new JDM rod to discuss. Now, not totally new to the shop. We've had these before, but we've had them in such small quantities that they've never really made it to the website. They've just kind of been in-store only things that we've put on racks, let people touch. We are finally able to get a legit batch of these to where we could bring them to you guys and offer them, because we've been getting so many questions about this brand. So the brand is Nories, and the rods are the Nories Road Runner rods. Okay, so these are Road Runner voice. These are kind of their high-end rods. They're beautiful. Okay, somebody earlier, I think it was Griff, referred to it as kind of like, they look like the Joker, right? With that kind of green and purple, really beautiful blanks. Now, all of the Nories out of the package are gonna feel slightly butt heavy to you, because they all come with balancers already attached. So a lot of people like to do this, right? What drives me freaking nuts. But if you're one of these finger balancers, right? Is that you?
That's me.
Okay. They put balancers on here to try to keep the rod to where you could just enjoy your finger time. Okay. But if you don't want them, you just literally just take them off, and then you can have a lighter rod, which would make a lot more sense. What do we got? We've got amazing actions in these. There are some that are true one piece. There are some longer crankbait models that even telescope. So like this is a 7.6 that's a telescoping rod. So if you have a smaller, like if you're in a kayak, for instance, and you don't want to bring a 7.6 rod, or you have a smaller rod locker, this could be a good option for you. Some have more of a glass, you know, kind of parabolic bend. Some are going to be faster. So take a look through the line. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Again, some of the most beautiful rods in the store, for sure. Those are from Nories, the Roadrunner voice. Those are available now. Okay, a couple of restocks to let you guys know about. Craft makes some amazingly beautiful rods as well. So in the Killers line of rods, two of our most popular rods are the Dead Sword and the Dark Matter. I think I grabbed 2 Dead Swords. I did. So, but the Dark Matter is the other one that is back. Hey, you know what? It's those 7 sips of Orion.
Yeah, that's it.
Plus I was pre-gaming a little bit.
Yeah, of
so,
course.
you know, hey, at least I haven't fallen off my chair. Okay, so here's a look at, again, one of the dopest looking cosmetic rods on the market. The Dead Sword's just a great all-around kind of multi-use rod. 1 to 3 ounce lure rating, so we could throw something like that shad, you can throw a frog, you can flip. It's just got the right action to where it's soft enough to where it can do some things, but it's really powerful. So it'd be a great soft bait rod too, like Citizen, Magdra, Freestyle. That's really where it's gonna shine. Right? So there you go. If you guys have been waiting on those to return, those are back. going the opposite way into inexpensive JDM rods. So this is sub $200. The Jackall BPM rods and some of our best-selling models are back as well. So the bait finesse model is back and the swim bait rod is back. We sell these as fast as we can get them in. These are amazing, just good, no-nonsense JDM rods for sub 200 bucks. So those are available while supplies last on this. All right, and then finally, Jeff, a pretty exciting one.
Okay.
From ISM. These are the ISM REs. So these are 2-piece rods, okay? So this is exciting from 2 standpoints. A, there's been a huge trend in getting multi-piece rods over the last several years. As people travel, as people, I don't know, use their car, like me. I literally fish downtown Phoenix every day. So a 2-piece rod, I could just, you know, fit in my trunk or whatever I need, right? So it's a great, easy to pack rod, but they actually weren't designed as travel rods. Okay, this is a brand new technology that ISM is using. The 2-piece rods are actually built, each piece is built independently on 2 different spindles. So most multi-piece rods are using just one, you know, piece, and they're kind of cut in the middle and they ferrule it, right? So they have a tendency to be a little clunky. ISM is kind of taking a page out of the Triza playbook a little bit, right? And they're developing a butt section to be, you know, stiff and to handle the weight, and they're developing a tip section to handle the performance, castability, usability, right? So you combine the two and you're getting a rod that's different than anything you could get in a 1-piece rod, unless you wanted to spend, you know, 1,100 bucks or 1,500 bucks to build one, right? So, you know, here we're talking about, you know, rods in the $300 price point instead of, you know, the $1,000 price point, but getting that same kind of performance. So again, ISM rods are known for being just very clean, right? They're simple, but they're stylish. They're incredibly light. And what you're going to find is you're going to find that the actions are going to say things like heavy, for instance, right? And they are going to be very heavy on this lower section, but that top section is still going to give you some nice bend that's going to give you castability. You're going to be able to make good casts. You're going to be able to do different things with your baits. There's several models. Take a look at them. I think you guys might find this is a really interesting kind of rabbit hole to go down. I think you're going to love the rods. So those are the brand new ISM Infinite Blade REs. Those are available now. All right, guys, and that is a wrap. Jeff, what'd you think of this week's?
This is a great week.
There's a lot of really dope stuff,
We
right?
had some good stuff.
Cool swim baits, big worms, some pretty dope colors, sexy rods. I mean,
What more could you ask for?
that's like mic drop. Stripper poles.
You could have left that one out.
No, dude. No, that one's important. So, guys, on behalf of myself and Jeff and Griffin, everybody here at the Hookup Time, guys, thank you for giving us time on your Sunday mornings. We really appreciate you taking times out of your busy schedules to watch our nonsense. I know a lot of you are drinking with me, so cheers. Not you, Jeff. You want to cheers any of the bums?
Huh?
Your people?
You're calling my people bums?
Well, I'm just calling you a bum.
Oh. Yeah, cheers to all the Mizu drinkers. Rise up.
No. Relax. Rise up. Cheers, my friends. If you have questions on anything that we covered today, drop it down below. Once my pregame gets out of me, I will answer them. So I give you correct answers. Jeff will leave links to all the products. And until next week, cheers. Be kind to Jeff or CJ. Next week, I won't be here. Gotta go back to Japan and find some more dope stuff and bring it back. So next week's gonna be an amazing drop week as well. You know what? Don't be kind. Grill them. I hope it's you, Jeff. Cheers, my friends. Have an amazing week. Go hug your family. Catch a big one. Drink a delicious Orion or Mizu if you're like Jeff. Peace.